Good day, everyone. This is Patrick from EasyFX Code Trading System, and this is Saturday, the 16th of December, 2023, and this is the weekly technical analysis for the Euro, the cable, and the Aussie dollar for the third week of December. And all these three majors show a similar bounce and recovery after finding support at the start of the week. And all triggered mainly from similar news, with starting with Tuesday's CPI figure from the US, where it was not as strong as expected, but just met expectations. So there was some hope from the market that there will be some influence for the Federal Reserve in the next day, and indeed the FOMC did not change rates, yes, but they also had a dovish statement with possible additional rate cut projected for 2024 from 2 to perhaps 3 now. And this fueled the optimism in the market and strengthened the majors against the US dollar. And that was the Wednesday news from the Federal Reserve, with the Aussie dollar making full use, taking advantage of that. And then followed by Thursday's ECB announcement and Bank of England as well, where they did not change rates, but they're not as dovish as the Federal Reserve or the FMC, and that gave them a further boost to recover all that was lost the previous couple of weeks. And for the pound, for the previous week, and overshot as well. And this continued to drive the US dollar down until Friday, where a member of the FOMC, Federal Reserve Committee, where they did highlight that, yeah, they're not looking to cut rates so soon. So they're still looking at the data. So that gave some a check on the strong bullish move, except for the Aussie dollar, where it's still closed fairly bullish for the week. So there's probably more bullish momentum from the Aussie dollar. So let's take a look at the news from last week, which was very critical, and look ahead for this coming week before the Christmas break. All right. And last week was a lot of data and news, as we highlighted, and beginning with CPI figure, which met expectations, and but not higher than expected. So market was still hopeful, especially with the wholesale inflation, the PPI, also not increase higher than expected. So staying flat, and hope that there'll be further easing in the pipeline. So then the surprise from the FOMC, where they, yes, they did not change rates, but they were more dovish with possible additional rate cut for 2024 in their projections. So that fueled the majors against the US dollar and drove the US dollar further weaker. And then followed by the next day with Bank of England and ECB, where they also did not change any rates, but they were more cautious and did not project any future rate cuts yet, and they're still data driven and more cautious in their outlook, and in the hope that inflation may have peaked, but they're still going to take a look at data every meeting. And on Friday, as well as the comment from one of the FOMC members, where trying to cool off the market, and where the market was trying to project earlier rate cuts, and highlighting that no, the committee is still looking at data and still data dependent. And on Friday, the services sector did pick up for the UK and the US against the Eurozone, which suffered with both sectors moving down lower than expected. So this helped to stall the US dollar weakness for a bit. So looking ahead for this week, there's a couple more UK news, and the key one for the US with the core PC price index on Friday. But starting off with the RBA with their release of their minutes of their policy meeting. And also on Tuesday, the Bank of Japan's last meeting to try to hold up the Japanese yen, where it has been suffering of late as the US dollar weakens. So critical one for the Bank of Japan, but nothing is expected, no change is expected unless they make some surprise policy changes. UK CPI is expected to slow down, so we'll see whether that's could cause further retracement in the cable and the sterling pairs. As minor news with the final GDP, and also Wednesday, there's also US consumer confidence. And it's no change expected for the quarter. And finally, on the Friday, there's UK retail sales. We'll see whether the economy is stalling or picking up on the retail side. But the key one will be the core PCE price index, where they're not expecting any drastic change, and market expecting just a neutral slight move up, but we'll see whether it's going to create any trigger any price action in the last day before the holiday weekend. Okay, so that was a very drastic news week last week, and just before the end of the year. Let's move back to the analysis. So beginning with the euro dollar. And the CPI started the move for the week after a pause on Monday, sitting on support, and as well as the daily 200 EMA. And with US CPI data coming in a neutral, not higher than expected, and then the big move was big surprise move was from the Federal Reserve, where they turned dovish and looking to ease the monetary policy. But then on the Thursday with the ECB's turn, they did not budge on their interest rate as expected, but they were more cautious and still looking at data meeting by meeting, month by month. So there was a follow continuation move on the euro until Friday, where the flash PMIs did not help, and as well as comments from the FOMC member with a note of warning to the market that the Federal Reserve is not ready to look at rate cuts yet. Right, let's take a look on the weekly time frame. And still is not able to break above the weekly 200 EMA and as well as the 110 round figure and pull back into 109 and the 21 fib retracement. Now let's move this upper channel away as there's no impact from there, but the lower channel trend line is still valid and serves as a support together with the interim support here. So it's sitting on, well, let's move this major resistance back up to the 110 along with this recent swing high. The support is still at the 62 fib retracement. Let's also take a look on the zoom out to the left, and yes, it's still not able to break above this 110 level. So this week there could be, if this dark cloud cover candle close on the Friday, there could be further consolidation for the week. And 108 and just slightly below with the low channel trend line could provide some support. If it does attempt to test 110 again and fails, that's going to be a very bearish sign. But in all likelihood, it's consolidating, especially moving towards the end of the year. Okay, so and it's only just called PC price index data this Friday. Trigger and moves, and that's right at the end of the week, so it's likely just consolidation then. And let's compare this with US dollar index, the DXY, to see how the US dollar fared, especially in the wake of the Federal Reserve's announcement. And here's the US dollar index, where you'll see where the major move was on the Wednesday with the Federal Reserve's announcement. And follow through the next day. There was a gap down on the Thursday for a breakdown of this recent swing low, and all finding resistance at the daily 200 EMA. And just below the 62 fib retracement. So it has now broken down below the recent swing low, but managed to bounce back up on the Friday, back above the swing low. And it could just be attempting to recover back to close this gap. So we'll see how far it's able to retrace or pull back. And this is a key one with the Harami. So it needs to break above the previous candle high, and let's see how far it's able to pull back higher, or if it's just going to consolidate and then resume its weakness. Let's take a look on the weekly time frame, and it is bearish, not able to break above the 104. So, but with this low wick, we'll see how far it's going to pull back up. Perhaps to where it broke down. And then it could be just consolidation. If it does break below that last week's swing low, then it's likely going to tap on 101. And in the hopes of finding support. All right, let's move back to the daily and take a look at the past here, and that's where these swing lows were. That's where it hit or tested, and if it does break down, it's attempting to get into this breakout area of the US dollar index. Okay, let's mark that swing low area here. So that did hit exactly. Let's mark that as a key support now. Critical significant support with intermediate support at the 102, where it just crossed back up from the recent swing low. And intermediate resistance at the 103. And the 786 pip retracement here. Major resistance now is going to be at the looks like there's some room between the daily 200 and the 55 EMA, just below the 62 retracement. All right, so let's see how the US dollar price action is for next week, this coming week, with some minor news and the main one at the end of the week, but there will be some pullback consolidation and some potential moves. We could also add another area of resistance here, this gap area. It's a potential resistance as well. All right, let's move back to the other pairs. Moving on to the cable. And similar to the euro dollar as well. Although the cable did initially retest the support with a spike through down to hit 125 before bouncing back up with the FOMC announcement, and then the follow through on Thursday, and along with the Bank of England's decision and announcement. And then finally, after breaking through the recent swing high, it did pull back on the Friday, back below the resistance and the 127. This is a dark cloud cover and a possible further tracement looming, but looks like consolidation between this recent swing high and 125. So within the range here. Let's take a look on the weekly time frame. And also not able to close above the weekly 200 EMA, although it did spike through it. And the recent highs close back down. And there's still a possible bullish move back up, but you'll see how far it's able to climb back up. Let's take a look on the daily again, and on the bigger time frame, on a wider scope, and let's take a look at this swing high here. There is some potential resistance up here. It did attempt to tap that high, but just fell a bit short. So the resistance is still at this swing high, but we can move it back up higher now into this range. And interim support. maybe at the 125 with this double bottom around here and a significant support below that. We'll still leave it at the 50 because of this structure down here. All right. Let's see if I need to move this up here, and that could help as well to identify certain areas of support where there's alignment with the 125 round figure right at the 38 pip retracement, and the 50 pip is slightly above that swing lows here, but yeah, just below the daily 200, so that's also possible. Okay, so some UK news as well this week with the CPI and retail sales figures. So that could also trigger some moves, but looks like it's likely just going to consolidate for the week. Okay. Let's move on to the Aussie dollar. We have a strong bullish move here from the Aussie dollar. Triggered from the Federal Reserve, and then a follow through, but not able to close above the 67 round figure. And a doji on Friday to close the week. Let's take a look on the weekly time frame. And this is a stronger, more bullish close for the week compared to the euro and the cable. A small upper wick, so there could be some more bullish momentum attempting to get up to the 68 round figure. So we'll see whether that's possible for this coming week. Last chance, last major move for the year likely, and whether there's any more trigger from the US as well. So it could be an early move with the RBA minutes coming up. Let's look at the, yes, there was some possible resistance there, and if it does break above that, then definite resistance at 68. So it'll be an interesting one this coming week for the Aussie dollar. And let's move this major resistance now to 68. some support at the 66. And the next major support is coming up at the 38 fib with the rising 55 EMA. Now, if we flip this around, then we can see whether there's any extension that is tempting to target, but I think this could be quite a wide move. So we're still looking at round figures for the Aussie dollar. Okay, so there won't be any analysis for next weekend with the holidays coming up. And I will resume just before the start of the new year. And do check out my other videos as well with spot gold and dollar yen. But wishing everyone a Merry Christmas and season greetings for the year, and have a safe week and couple of weeks, and have a good trading week as well, and stay safe. Cheers for now.